Hello, everyone, and thank you for 150 subscribers, which I literally say this every time. I think I've been saying this since like the 35 one, but it's not, it doesn't sound like a lot, but to me, it's like a huge thing. So thank y'all for supporting me, and there's a lot more to come, like my deeper dive series. There's so much more for you guys to see. I filmed a lot. I have a lot prepared, including another series that I'm going to start, and I have a lot of plans for the future. But this video isn't about plans for the future. I can make my own separate video on that if I wanted to. This video is about ranking every Dancing Lion level from worst to best, and I will be using a tier format for this video, and I'm gonna say it. The tier list looks so different than a Rolling Sky tier list would. So I guess with that, I will get started. And this is kind of funny because in F tier, 61st place, my least favorite level in the game, you might not expect, but it's on the screen right now. The Savannah is by far my least favorite level in Dancing Lion. I'll play a little bit of it. This is what I'll do with all levels, and I'll just die. This level is so boring to me. The soundtrack absolutely sucks, and I just hate the entire premise of this level, to be honest. On paper, maybe a good concept. Maybe. The execution of the concept, awful. Like, awful. This is ass. Like, I'm sorry, but like this is such a bad level. It's so boring. It's not even like, there's the only thing I could think of that's like kind of memorable about this level is the ending where they're all like bowing to the lion. But like this part in the village is fine, but it really starts to fall off after you like just fall. I don't know. Like right here, it just really starts to fall off, and it's really just annoying. I'm gonna stop here. I can't. That is why I don't like the Savannah. I will take a lot less time with the upcoming levels, but let's move on to our 60th spot. The only other level in F tier, the Ugly Duckling. And I actually like the concept of this one a lot, even like off paper, how they did it. The problem is that the route here is kind of annoying and boring to me. Soundtrack's just okay, whatever. It follows the fairy tale concept quite well, but execution of it was not the best, I think. They got the point across, though. They just could have done the story better. Starting off the D tier is one of what I call the tutorial levels. I feel like this placement's quite self-explanatory. It's boring. What else can I really say about this level? It's crazy how much of a difference the Rolling Sky sea levels are in comparison to Dancing Lion the Ocean. Number 58, the Ocean. So boring to me. Way too wide open paths. There's some really weird music sync issues just throughout the level. It's so dark, I can barely see what I'm doing right now. The soundtrack's okay. There's only a few parts of the level that actually help this, and that's just the Manta Ray part. In 57th place, we have the Hip Hop Revolution. Yeah, I like music. I think you guys might know I'm a musician. So you feel like a musician would like this level, but execution wasn't really the best. It's so boring, especially this part. Right here, there's just a bunch of clicks, I guess. I mean, it really just falls off after 50%. It was really fun before this. And then it kind of picks up back again in this hip-hop section, and then it does this. Like, what the hell is this? You click on this 35 times. The only thing that's changing? The background. Who's basically doing nothing. This level just infuriates me how good it is in the beginning, and it just sucks after 50%. Like, this isn't even fun. Anyone that finds this fun is actually weird. But I can understand the argument for the beginning of the level being good. Okay, some people may not like this choice, but here we have the piano. Yeah, guys, it's the iconic level. I was a day one player of Dancing Line. But does that make me any more nostalgic for this level? Honestly, not really. I think it's kind of boring. It is classic, but there were actually levels that came before this, like the Winter and the Chaos, and I think the other one was the Autumn. So it just doesn't stand out for me, even though I play piano. This is such a controversial pick, and I'm fully aware of that. The end. I'm sorry, Theo, but this level sucks. Like, honestly, it's not even this part. Like, this part is fine. This part is totally fine, but I will skip to the part that just infuriates me so much. Yeah, right here. First of all, you could never tell when to go there. Sometimes this part doesn't work. Like the maze mechanics, cool, it introduces that again. The maze does it so much better, spoiler. And it gets even worse from here. It has another Hip Hop Evolution thing where it just gets worse the further on in the level you go. Sometimes these things will fling you in a random direction. Then, sometimes I'm tapping the screen, like right here, and I just fly off. Like, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? This is not okay. This level is faulty, and I'm blaming it on this level. If the difficulty wasn't, decently challenging, this would be so much lower on my list. Also in D tier, 54th place, the amusement park, for the exact same reason. Sometimes the hitboxes just decide, I don't want to work today. And I randomly get hit by something that doesn't exist, especially in the end portion, where I could just get flung a random direction, like what you saw in the end. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that will happen too. Which, I don't know, call it a skill issue, whatever, but this is actually just annoying, and these two are the only exceptions to, the easy difficulty levels in low tiers, because they actually just infuriate me sometimes with their hitboxes. Starting off the C tier, in 53rd place, we have what I consider the easiest level in the game. I have no idea why the Spring and Lullaby is the easiest in the game. We have the Spring, which is the tutorial level now. You basically can't even die. Oh, I'm about to hit this rock. Oh, sorry, just flew into space. What else am I supposed to say about this? It's easy, it's boring, you basically can't die, and I'm never going to go back to this unless it's the daily level and I have to, complete some challenge now, but I'm already done with my challenges, so it doesn't matter to me anyway. Now, this would be the level that I'd feel nostalgia for, have there not be another level that also came out in this same update. There's also two, but yeah, this one's just kind of boring, not gonna lie. I mean, it's fine. The concept is cool. They have all the seasons, I'm pretty sure. No, they don't have the summer, but the beach is kind of that. It's fine and all. I think the remix is better though, so we'll see that later. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this level. For it being the first in the game, it really doesn't do anything special other than kind of teach the players how to play the game, but they made some changes that kind of hurt it, in my opinion. Speaking of the beach, let's talk about that right now. Being a remix to the piano, it does a lot better. I really do like the theme. Honestly, it feels really fun. The dance floor kind of aesthetic theme, whatever. Really nice. Honestly, I do like the concept of it. They pulled it off very nicely, and you could just kind of do this the entire time, which is kind of funny. Do a lot of those taps. However, with that being said, the piano remix is really good, but it's easy. Do I want to come back to it often? Not really. It is technically the summer level, but I think there's one season level that does it better than all of the others. Speaking of seasons, let's talk about another. The remix to the first level in the game, also coincidentally the first remix in the game. I feel like it was fair that this level got a remix. However, is it much better than the first one? No, absolutely not. Love the color scheme, love going in the snow. It suffers from literally the exact problems that the other level suffered from. Moving on. Also, what the hell was that? Oh, look at this, another really original level. Are you starting to see a pattern? Okay, it's not that I don't like the really original levels, because there are some newer ones that have showed up and will show up in higher tiers, but like this level's very outdated, and I think that's its problem. It's just a bunch of blocks. Cool. I've never liked this level either. There's some really unfair gameplay parts, especially because this was originally a beginner level. Like, I'm just gonna die here to show you what would happen. Bridge just collapses. Cool. Didn't expect that. There are some gems that are impossible for you to even figure out how to get if you're new to the game. You know, when I was playing this level, I got pretty infuriated with it. Nowadays, I think it's just kind of boring, and I don't discount it too much for suffering from that, because it's not really a beginner level anymore with all the levels we have. But, still, nonetheless, it's kind of a flop. In 49th place, we have Dream of Sky, the first level on this list to not start with the. Spoiler, I think there's only like 4, so this level's just boring. I don't really know what else I could say about it, just because that's how it is. Its remix is better. It's more colorful, which is cool, but that's for this level. What does it have going for it? Clouds. The first and one of 2 Halloween levels in the game. Kind of a letdown, to be honest. The other Halloween level is going to appear a lot higher on this list, so it gets severely outclassed by it. The spider chase section is kind of cool, I guess. Kind of freaks me out, though, considering I have arachnophobia, but yeah, it's boring. Kind of mixed up hitboxes, but I'm not going to hold this level accountable for that, just because I like it better. See, I told you guys there'd be newer levels on this list. And this level is only this low because I can't see a damn thing the entire time. Well, most of the time. I think the beginning is a perfect example of how stupid the camera is in this level. Look, you got one chance to see it. Okay, cool, you saw it. Now just kind of trust your gut when to tap, because you can't see the wall right there. Wow, you miraculously survived that? We're just gonna put the camera in really stupid angles for the rest of the level. And, oh, sorry you missed that gem because you couldn't see that it was even there. And, oh, you went too far right there because you couldn't see it? Sorry. And, this gem just infuriates me so much. Like, come on. That was stupid. I do like the theme. Just they pulled it off really badly because of the camera angles, and I could go on throughout the entire level. It just suffers from the same flaws the entire time, and it's so infuriating when you die at the last second because the camera was not your friend. Closing out the C tier in 46th place, we have the Plains remix. It's fun. I could tap the screen like this to cause a ripple effect. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? To cause a ripple effect. That's cool. Wow, ripple effect. It's a slower Plains, and there's really only one change that was made. Right here. I will admit, this is a pretty cool change. The only problem being is that there's some wacky hitboxes sometimes. Like, you could hit the button and it'll just, like, make you fly off. Like, luckily, I don't think that happens anymore, but that was definitely in the original version. I remember it and getting kind of pissed off at it. Also, it's just kind of impossible to see. There's a block here because it's yellow with the road. It makes everything a little bit harder, which is definitely fine for a remix. I think remixes are supposed to do that, but it kind of suffers from exactly the same thing that the Plains suffers from. It just makes it a little bit better. Not enough to put it in the top 45, though. Kicking off the B tier, we have our first of 2 Christmas levels, the Christmas Party, and the other Christmas level will be in the B tier, so you'll see it later. However, I think this level is a little bit worse, just because I think it's kind of boring at the beginning, and the only thing you think of when you hear the Christmas Party, oh yeah, the split path in the mountains, or you could go in the forest. I guarantee. Like, most people would say that if they play Dancing Line. Camera angles are also not nice a lot of the times, and it's really only known for one thing. Has kind of a basic soundtrack, Throw all of those things together and you get a pretty mid-level. However, it is in the top 45, so it's better 3/4 of the game. Here's the split path I'm talking about. I like to go to the forest more. I think it's the harder path. And you get to kind of do a cool fall down here. That's basically all I have to say about this level. Alright, up next in 44th place we have the Spring Lullaby, the so-called easiest level in the game. And why is this the so-claimed easiest level in the game? I don't know. I really don't understand why this is called that. This is also Tuan's video, by the way. You guys all know him, so check him out, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think it's better in the spring just because the visuals are so much better and, like, it looks so much cleaner, to be honest. So, that's the only reason that I'm putting it where I'm putting it. However, it is very easy and lacks a lot of replayability, so I'm just not a big fan. For the sake of this video, I feel like it's going to be easier for me to put the Chamber remix and the before reworked remix of Dream of Sky in the same placement right here. Way more colorful, better music, still the same old boring Dream of Sky though. That's pretty much what I could say about this, although the new Chamber remix does absolutely slap. 41st place, The Mountains. 2-word, Bird Gem. Sorry, this is 41st place. The Earth is it's one of the most original levels. I do remember when it came out. I was having a bonfire with my family. I don't know why I remember that, but it's cool and all. Its remix is definitely in the top 20 levels in the game, though, so that does kind of hold this level a bit back, though, because it doesn't really live up to its standard, and I think it's just kind of boring, even with the construction side aspect, which does represent the human side of Earth. The concept is there, just the route is kind of boring, but that goes along with the soundtrack, and I think the soundtrack's really good here, so I don't know, kind of in the middle. Kicking off the top 40, we have The Desert. So, oh, this was the other original level. Okay, yeah, wow, now it's coming back to me. I remember playing this when it came out, guys, trust me, but I never knew how to get that gem, which is kind of funny because it's really easy. Very solid soundtrack, pretty good routing. The part where the screen just turns black, you could tap whatever you want. Used to, like, I literally was, like, so amazed by that when I was younger. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And it literally just forced you to go a certain way, so it literally didn't matter what you did. It's just kind of funny that I thought that way. And, yeah, overall, really good representation for the desert, especially how old this level is with the limitations that the game was at the time. It did a really good job with what it had. In the 39th place, we have The Storm. Ignore that. This was one of the originals as well. Very fun level, honestly. It doesn't really get fun until you get to where it starts raining. Then the real fun begins, to be honest, so I'll skip there. Yeah, right here. Not only does the music start to get really good, you could tell that you're about to, like, start ramping up to something. Like, you're falling through the platforms, you're getting lower, and you know something's about to happen, and then you're getting on these, like, drifting away platforms, which makes you really feel tense now. And there are, like, things hopping out of the water now, right here, like, oh my god, what's happening? What's going on? And then you see this, and then you fall. And it really tells a story, because you're just like, you keep falling, and you're in a storm. And I love this level tells a story. We don't get a lot of levels like that nowadays. And my number one spot does reflect a story, which is probably why it's number one, because I really like the levels that tell it. The other thing holding this back is that the obstacles are very limited, just due to what the game was like back in the day. So I don't blame it too much for that. It's just kind of the restrictions that were on it. Okay, I know I literally just said that the Storm had a great story and stuff. This level just has jazz. Oh yeah. I like jazz. I'm sorry, that was so cringe, guys. But love the soundtrack of this level, honestly. Probably one of the only reasons it's carried. Also the fact that you could do stuff like this. You're not supposed to do that. Or you could do this. See, like, I don't know how I'm getting out of the situation, but it somehow worked. Like, you could do it. So it's kind of funny. That's the reason this level's so high. Cheese strategies. Okay, sorry for that brief interruption. Now we're back to levels that tell a story. Ignore that. Now we're back to levels that tell a story. And you could also cheese them. The Autumn, its music sometimes makes me tear up, and I'm not even kidding, because it sounds nostalgic, and it kind of is, but it literally just tells, like, the story of a nice autumn. And the piano in this level is so good. This is one of my favorite soundtracks in the game. If this was a soundtrack list, it would definitely be in, like, my top 15, I think. So, if you guys want that video, just let me know, though, because I'll gladly make it. But, man, this level's so emotional, and I'll skip to the part that makes me feel that way the most. So right here, honestly, just such an emotional part, and like this part just so awesome. It just makes me want to cry because it feels so sad but happy at the same time, like someone's dying or something. Like the endings soundtrack, it just goes to show how great a sound, like if a soundtrack is, it can make the level, it can make or break a level. However, with that being said, if the soundtrack is the only reason it's making a level, I don't think that it should be high. If the routing is good too, if it tells a story even without the soundtrack, I feel like I could justify putting it a lot higher. However, this level just kind of relies on the soundtrack to do that, which I guess is fine in theory, but I really love the soundtrack, so I'm going to put it in B tier for that reason. Well, I told you guys would see this level soon. This is the Christmas Eve, the first ever Christmas level, and it uses the Silent Night soundtrack for like 40%, and then it does something crazy. Oh my god, what's happening? I'm on Santa's sleigh. Oh my god, I'm going so fast. Oh, I just crashed. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Yeah, this surprised me the first time I played it. Like what the... Yeah, okay, I suck at this level. But it was such a surprise, and it's so much more fun than the Christmas party because of that added mechanic. However, like I said with the Autumn, if there's only one certain thing that's making a level good, I don't think that it deserves to be in A tier even. However, with that being said, I really do like the theme of this level, and the Christmas like room at the end is really fun as well. In 35th place, we have, in my opinion, the hardest level in the game. Screw the racing, that level's easy. This level is hell. And I don't even want to explain my difficulties with it. You guys, if I say the infamous 60% bridge part, I think you'd know what I'm talking about, and I feel like I don't have to elaborate on that. And the 8th gem, where you have to click to the soundtrack, I didn't figure that out for years. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, the internet did not help me. I just did it randomly one day. I was like, oh, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. At least the scenery is pretty. That's basically all this level's got going for it. Also, the fact that it's pretty challenging does help it. This is the one of two, well, technically three, levels in this game to have words. And, it's the Valentine's. I would say that this is the most average level in the game, but it's technically below average because it's 34th. The song is good. The concept is cool. It's like, it's the equivalent of a 2-star. Cool. I don't know, it's kind of boring. Whatever. All of you Rolling Sky fans are, if you know me, you know that I hate this level in Rolling Sky. So the fact that it's high up in this game, oh, okay, sorry, I can't see. The fact that it's so high up in this game may surprise a lot of you guys. But this was the OG The Basketball. And it was actually good. Yeah, I think the route is so much better in this level than in Rolling Sky, where it is absolutely dog crap. So, yeah, that's a lot. The route's so fun here. Love the aesthetic of this level. The only thing holding it back is the soundtrack is just kind of mid, and I still stand by that. I said it about Rolling Sky. I still stand by that here. Um, it's like average, you know. I mean, I'm not letting Rolling Sky influence my opinion. I've just learned to like this level a lot less because there's hitbox issues at the end. Where like if you click when trying to get that one gem, sometimes it'll register, and that just kind of annoys me because it's so close to the end. But that's really the only thing that annoys me in this level, causing it to be one of the most average in the game, in my opinion. Number 32 on this list is the Sailor's Tale. Very fun, fast-paced, like adventure theme kind of level. And you may be thinking, if this level doesn't tell a story, then what level does? And you're right, you'd be right. This level definitely tells a story, which it's probably one of the best levels for telling a story. Okay, I obviously just can't get past the beginning, but you guys, you should be watching this video if you don't know all the levels, because I'm not going to be playing them all the way through, but the ending with the squid coming out of the water and attacking you with the water going on your screen, the ink on some versions. I know that some do that for some reason. I think that's a glitch, but it really works, and the story being told here is really cool. I think a major downside, though, is the soundtrack. Sure, it sounds piratey, especially near the end, but there's just I'm not that into it. And I think there's just some parts of the hitboxes, especially when the ship is being hit by cannonballs, that just could be fixed. Number 31, the maze, and it's because you could do this. I'm not done. If you go back and watch my first ever video, or even my first ever shorts, you could see that you can kind of just like trick the level. Essentially, I'll try that again, into thinking that you're further into the level than you actually are according to the soundtrack. Like it's hard to pull it off, but when you can pull it off, it's actually really cool what you can do. Like that. If I would have like gotten the timing a little bit better there, I could have just skipped that entire section. And that's the only thing about this level that's fun, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie, if you play this level normally, it's kind of boring, but the fact that you can skip all of that with no like invisible walls and stuff makes this level like 10 times better. So that's why I get 31st. And in 30th place, the most average level in the game, the Chaos. Which is kind of funny because I think in Rolling Sky it's far below average. That's funny, both of the Dancing Line fan-made levels are in B tier. This level, however, I think is significantly better. Well, it's not much better, but it's still better than the basketball. Okay, wow. Because it's just more fun. It's more challenging. And this was it's technically tied for the first level to ever come out in Rolling Sky, or sorry, Dancing Line history. So with what it was working with at the time, it really did a good job creating a chaotic theme level, because it feels chaotic, and it still holds up today as one of the hardest in the game, and that's fair. It's not easy. It's not an easy level. It takes a lot of time to beat, especially the last 20% of this level, and especially with like lag spikes like I just had right there. It's really hard, and this zooming in part was very challenging for me the first time, because there's a lot of like tense finger movements you have to do right here. And I'm not going to play the whole level because I'm out in the cold right now, so my fingers are kind of like, I mean, it's not that cold, but it's like 40s. But yes, I mean, you get the premise of this level. It's very good at doing what it tried to do, and it did do it for what limited resources it had at the time. So for that, it gets the most average level in the game. There's 30 levels worse than it, 30 levels better than it. We're still in B tier, by the way. Starting in 29th place, we have the Cathedral. One of the OG levels, I think I called it like the OG 7 or the OG 9 or something. It's fun routing wise. I keep messing these things up. I had to buy cubes for this video, so I might have to just stop. It's pretty fun. We're getting close to A tier, so I'll explain why some levels aren't in A tier. And for this level, that would be just for having kind of weird camera angle stuff like that. I'm not gonna play on, but there's just some weird parts where there's also hitbox issues combined with weird camera movements that just kind of screw you over. However, I think they're kind of meant to be that way, but still, I think this level's just barely not good enough with its theming for me to want to put it in B or an A tier, because I could kind of get what they tried to go for story-wise, but I really don't understand why this is called the Cathedral other than that one part where they're in a cathedral. So, for that reason, it gets B tier. In 28th place, we have the hardest level in the game. And why is this not in the A tier, you might ask? Well, that's because in some update, I don't know which update, they made it so that you could use the like show where you tap your screen mechanic, which totally ruined this level. Like, the whole point is that it's incredibly challenging to tell where you're supposed to tap because the car's movement is so unpredictable, and that's why it was the hardest level in the game. But now you can just purchase that, and even if that wasn't still a thing, it's really easy to tell where you're supposed to go, and you could even glitch out of bounds, which I managed to do, which is how I beat it initially. And I do like the concept, but I think they made it a little too easy with that change. Otherwise, I think this level would have been A tier. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't think that I can really give it anything for making that change and just making this level way too much easier. Like the Chinese Garden, it's okay that it has those things because it's challenging anyway. Like with the bridge part, it's 60%. It's challenging already, so I don't think it needed that. So it's unfortunate this level, but barely almost made it. And in 27th place, closing out the B tier, the Taurus. When I was making this level or this list, I think this was the level that I struggled to figure out where to put the most. It's short, but it's good. But it's short and it's kind of annoying sometimes. And I mean, I could call it kind of a skill issue, but like if you're not listening to the music right now, like I'm not really listening to the music right now, but so I might have to lock in for this. Hold on. And like this part's kind of unpredictable and the camera's kind of annoying, but I really like the concept, and it really is a good level in my opinion. I do like what it does. I love the part where you're on the bridge and the camera's like beneath you. It's a really cool concept, especially using this is the only Zodiac themed level, and considering that it's really fun, it has really cool visuals and stuff, very good idea. How they pulled it off, I think, is barely not good enough for it to be an A tier, so that's why it is the highest in the B tier. But I was close to putting this in A tier. I was kind of on the fence about this level, so take this placement with probably the most grain of salt of any on this list. Of course, this is my own opinion, but still. Starting off the A tier, in 26th place, we have the Halloween Puzzle. Significantly better than its 2017 counterpart, and this is 2018. So 1 year must make a hell of a difference, because this level's so much better. See, what this level does is it kind of makes a level of puzzle constantly rotating and zooming in and out of focus, making it look kind of cartoonish, like right here. But when it zooms out, it seems more kind of real. And what this level does is, for most of it, it stays in this cartoonish kind of thing, and it utilizes that zoom in to make it look like all the paths are in the same like area and you're about to hit an obstacle, but really it's either above you, below you, or to the side of you in some way, like right here. A lot of these are below me, and you see it rotate. It's like one of those 3D puzzles. like in like Mario 3D Land or something like that. That it just really kind of confuses you the first time you play it, and you just have to listen to the soundtrack to even understand. But the rotatingness and the really like fun, bouncy kind of soundtrack with the la la la's right here, it makes this level just such a fun level to play and has great replayability for that reason. So that is why it is in A tier. This might be a weird pick to some people, but I really like the Spring Festival, and I think it deserves top 25. It has a great soundtrack, and I think, just like a lot of other levels, it had a first part and a second part, and in this case, the second part is just better. I guess I'll stop playing. But this level utilizes its soundtrack really well, and there's a very hard part at the end with the masks at like 70%. You guys know what I'm talking about. But once you get past that part, it's a pretty free shot to the end. Well, it's not free. It's kind of easy for me, but I can understand why people say that it's hard. It is ranked as the third hardest level in the game, and I understand why. So I think it's a very fun level, very cool concept, executes it much better in the Chinese Garden. It's just not good enough to be S tier. Honestly, it's probably closer to B tier just because the Chinese stuff isn't really my type of thing, but take your wins where you can get them, you know? Literally right above the Spring Festival on the level list, fourth hardest level in the game, Legend of Assassin, 24th place. This level's honestly a blast, and I think that's just because this level tells a really good story, and I could pinpoint it pretty accurately. Okay, I'm just gonna stop, but I'll explain it. We're in a village. The castle is obviously getting destroyed or something like that. They're kind of accepting defeat because of this dragon that's kind of raining terror on our village. And we're trying to escape. We go into the market area. The dragon starts blowing fire at us. It starts ripping platforms, so we're flying across platforms. And eventually we end up in this area. It's kind of like a battleground. And then we end up in like the main portion of the city that is being damaged. Like meteors, fire, whatever. It's crashing down on the village. We're in danger. And then we get into the fountain area. We get into the castle. There's fountains. There's statues trying to kill you. And then you get into the main room. It's falling apart. You get to the king. He bows at your feet. You are the new king. You just destroyed an entire village. If that's not absolute cinema, I don't know what is. Like, amazing story. It did not need the soundtrack to carry it. The only problem I have with this level is that sometimes, like you saw, hitboxes can be hard to distinguish. Not unfair, just hard to distinguish sometimes, which not necessarily this level's fault, but I do kind of get annoyed with it sometimes. In this case, it's because I'm standing in a very light area and my brightness isn't really helping me, but yeah. Up next, we have the Easter, and this is such an amazing thing. In Rolling Sky, we don't have an Easter themed level, so the fact that Dancing Lion has it is very fun. And it's such a bouncy soundtrack, like, I love it. It's so bright and joyful. Like, you're having a great time. Like, you could just kind of jam out to it. It's so fun. Such a fun level. And, I mean, it's just so much joyous energy that you love to see in a level. And I think for that reason, it deserves to be up in higher A tier. And the only reason it's not higher is because there's weird music sync issues here. Where, like, see, I feel like the music's not supposed to be synced like that. And I feel like it's always been that way for some reason. And it just kind of syncs back up once you fall right here. Like, I feel like it was supposed to be later than it did, and the portal just transitioned you too fast sometimes. But oh well. I love the chessboard at the end as an avid chess player, as you guys know from Chess Fortress. So, also something that boosts this level higher than Legend of Assassin and Spring Festival. This rock remix is one of the best in the game. I will stand by this level as the best remix level in the game if you don't count some of my S tier ones that are like in a weird situation. This is probably the best remix level in the game. And that's because of its remix. It's badass. Like, it's really good. And I just want to take a minute to explain, like, the awesome I don't think this level is really telling a story. However, you get to see a Sphinx destroying land with a weird set of tiles, I'll say. And you get to be in a jungle. You get to see morning stars destroying areas of land that you have to avoid. And it collapses. You're going into a sand tunnel. This has nothing to do with a cathedral. Sure. But it's a cathedral remix, so whatever. The only problem I have with this level, like, this would literally be S tier if this wasn't a thing, is that it's 70% very late on in the level. For some reason, when the first Sphinx pops up and some of the triangles pop out from out of the sand, for some reason, the physics will act like you're flying off the ground, even though you're not. And when you click, it won't register. You'll fly off. That pisses me off so much that I'm literally inclined to put this, like, I think 12 spots lower than S tier, just because of that. Because it's infuriating how late in the level it was. If it was the beginning, I could give it some grace for that. It still probably wouldn't be S tier, but it'd be so much higher than A tier. But just for that reason, I can't justify putting this above 21st. Nope, sorry, this level's 21st. The football. I'm from the United States, so this is soccer to me, but whatever. This level is kind of iconic in what it did, where it just kind of had two lines on the outside kind of going as you're going. You guys get the point. It basically does that for a long time. So you get onto the soccer field, you see all the flags, with my country's flag, my ethnic country flag, Serbia. But just a little shout out there to all you Serbians watching. But you get to have a lot of fun. And I think the thing about this level that everyone thinks of, or you should think of because it is the iconic thing of this level, is when you go into the TV, you're on the TV, you're in someone's room, you're at some race TV, I don't know. And then you're at a bar, and then you go back to the game. It's honestly awesome. Although the only drawback of this level is that when you're in the TV, the rhythm is so repetitive, I could probably do it with my eyes closed. There's nothing challenging about it. So that definitely does hold this level back quite a bit. In 20th place, we have our, well, not technically not our last, but our second level with words. And this is by far the better one. Not only because it's more difficult, just because I like the song more. This was definitely on my Spotify playlist for a while, and then I took it off because, I don't know, I listened to it too much. But I did like it a lot at a point, so I will keep that in mind. This part's kind of annoying because you can't see the ball in front of you, but it's fine. I think the idea of this level is kind of cool, just everything being made out of paper. It's kind of funny, especially because it's kind of about a teen girl, like, journaling. So everything being paper cutouts. There's like a city paper cutout, a tree paper cutout. Eventually you come to a cave paper cutout, essentially. There's holes in the ground being cut by scissors. Everything being made out of paper. Just it has a gimmick, and it sticks to the gimmick literally the entire time. Regardless of if you're in a city setting or a forest setting or this red setting to the cave setting at the end, it's all made out of paper, which is really cool. Like... It stuck to something, which I don't think a lot of levels in this game have done. Like, even The Legend of Assassin, which is technically really fighting with the dragon the entire time, still changes its setting to, like, the castle. This level just sticks to paper the entire time, which is really cool. I'm honestly really fine with it. I'm all for it. The only thing holding it back is there's some weird hitbox issues in the 70% area, along with in the cave at the end. Okay, this is technically our last song with vocals, but that's just because it says something in the part where it turns black. You might be wondering why this level's so high, because you could say it's similar to the Savannah, which you saw. I obviously put it in last place, but I think this level's kind of slept on. The thing that really gets it for me is that final riff on the guitar at the end. Like, oh my god, it gives me chills every time. I'll try to get there. Just so you guys can hear, because it's a very short level. And even though you're basically on this path the entire time, which is the reason it's not an S tier, you get to see a bunch of fun locations, and it does stick to the West theme with all these saloons. You see some teepees even, and eventually it becomes to night even. Oh yeah, this part's cool too, where you kind of fly off the ground. That's the closest we'll get to getting off the path for this entire level until the end, which you're still kind of on the path. So yeah, right after these teepees, it turns to night, which is really interesting. And you're in like a grassland setting. I don't really know how this represents the West, but I think you're kind of going on a hike, and that's how I think of it. Because at this point, you kind of transport into different locations, and this is where the vocals are. Oh my God, how did I do that? I can't hear the music right now, so. Yeah, so this is like, I kind of see we're on a journey now. And we're trying to get out of the West. Because now we're like on the beach, the level. That's kind of cool cameo. Because that level was out at this time. Ooh. Yeah, so very big fan of this level. Kind of feels like the journey before the journey existed. Yeah, the final guitar riff here is actually really good. I tried to get it. But very fun level. Very good music. The only problem is that we're just on the path the entire time. And it's kind of boring for that. In 18th place, we have a pretty original level. Which is... well, that would be... the Crystal. Yeah, so I'm actually very fond of this level. And I don't see a lot... well, I don't see a lot of talk about Dancing Line. But, like, when I did see a lot of talk, I didn't see a lot of talk about this level. And it's such a cool concept. The yellow portion of this level, which is what I consider now, because the light behind me is yellow, is kind of boring, but you kind of see some subtle foreshadowing because of the colors there. Okay, whatever. Then you get into the red section, which feels kind of ominous. It should be. It's red, kind of the hell colors. But then you get to the blue section, and oh my gosh, it's so good. The blue section is definitely carrying this level, which is why it's still an A tier, not an S tier, because there's a section carrying it. But with the soundtrack, the amazing crystal visuals, especially for at the time, it was really impressive. For 2017 level, like if I showed you someone this, they'd probably think it's like 2018 or 2019 if they knew the game's history, and they didn't know this. So yeah, that's why it's getting 18th place. Not S tier just because there's a certain part carrying the level to an extent, but pretty good otherwise. Up next in 17th place, we have the remix of The Earth. Or Earth Remix. I don't know why I said it so weird. There's a weird delay on my screen, I don't know why, with the city things, but this is absolute cinema. I love this level. The story it tells is absolutely insane. And don't get me started on the soundtrack. Like, actually don't get me started. I'll start ranting about how good it is. The beat is so good. You're like a space recruiter captain or something trying to stop an asteroid from hitting Earth, and you succeed. And everyone throws a huge party for you. Now you're on the asteroid itself. You're just on bits of it. And this actually relates to the Earth. So, unlike a lot of other remixes, this is like definitely a really good one because it actually relates to the Earth. The only thing that was left to see was just Earth throwing a party. But yeah, this level is so good. Definitely the best remix in the game. I didn't know if I can consider it a remix though, which is why I called the Cathedral remix the best one in the game. But if you consider this to be its own remix, then this would definitely be the best one in the game. Then the only reason I think it's not a remix is because it's so different from its original level. But it's a really fun level. I always enjoy coming back to this one. The only thing I don't like is that you have to get so far into the game's point system to get it. Okay, if I was to make a ranking about which levels tell a story the most, this level might just be number one. Actually, no, I think there's one that I think is better, but this would be number two. This level's so sad and so happy at the same time because it really depends on what ending you choose. Okay, I really can't see. I can't see anything right now. Let me fix that. Yeah, so this level could be either the happiest level in the game or the saddest. Because if you take the secret ending, the house rebuilds itself at the end after the war, and you get to see your family, and the flowers start blooming. And then if you take the normal ending, this is the normal ending. I'm very adamant in saying this is the normal ending. The house just blows up and your entire family dies. That's nice. That's nice, guys. The fact that that's the normal ending, I'm not even kidding you, is the reason that this is not S tier. Because this is one of the best storytelling levels ever. And the fact that it does that literally makes this level drop maybe at least 13 placements. Why is that the normal ending? If you can make that the secret ending, that's fine. I would just never take it. But it literally made me cry the first time I saw it because I was a lot younger. But, I was, yeah. Wow. That is not okay, guys. But, going through the level, if you want to play it yourself, I don't really want to play it right now. It tells an amazing story. Houses are getting destroyed. You flash back to your childhood until going back into the war. It's a very emotional level. Starting off the top 15, though, it's just a level that's just pretty. And it has an amazing soundtrack. It's a pretty and amazing soundtrack level. I love this level. It's so just pretty. And I just can't get over this level, honestly. I've always had a soft spot for this level, and I don't really even know why. It's just fun to play, and it's beautiful. Because I have a spot in my heart for nature as well. Obviously, I'm outside right now. I'm at, like, a park, and I'm, like, in the sled just so I could have a better view. But very fun, honestly. Just relaxing little kind of nature-y level, and you know, I gotta love that. So that's why this level is kicking off the top 15. This is Shaw Vibes video, by the way, but next we have the Alone. This level has vocals, but it's technically not in the game still, so oh man, I love this level. This also tells a story. A skater kid that broke his leg, I presume, because there's crutches, and a skateboard in the trash, who feels like giving up, and eventually he starts skateboarding again, but right now he feels so lonely, and there's like people encouraging him and people like throwing him down, like, give up, you can't do this. You'll see it right here, yeah. Love it, and stop, give up. Like, the orange side is rooting for you, and then the blue side is just like, give up, you suck. And I feel like that's very reminiscent of real life. There's people that are going to be on your side, and there's people that are just not going to be on your side, which is something that I could really relate to, which is why I feel like I have like a heartfelt connection with this level. I don't know. The developers did a great job with this level because it's honestly one of my favorites of all time. So I'm very, very content with how this level turned out, and it really tells one of the best stories in the game as well. The only reason it's not in S tier is, honestly, it's kind of repetitive and boring, but its story is really good, and the song just helps it. It doesn't need the song. Once again, Shao Vibe made this. This is the Faded, just the normal Faded. There's two other variations that we'll be talking about soon, but in 13th place we have this level, and man, once again, it kind of tells the same story, that just someone's alone. It's more cybersecurity themed, or cybersecurity, just cyber. It has these doors and stuff. It's I think the soundtrack of this level is the backtrack for Faded. I'm not entirely sure. This like is kind of a mixed soundtrack, which is fine for me. It's Faded. This is actually the level that got me into Alan Walker songs in general. But like this part's so cool. It just looks cool. Like honestly, the fact that they were able to like make something like this is really insane. It looks awesome. This level is up high for its looks and its soundtrack. It doesn't really tell a story, I'll admit, which I think every single level in S tier does, except for number 7 and number 8, but that's fine, because, I mean, it just looks really nice, and it is really nice. I'm very happy, once again, with how this level turned out, and it's very impressive, honestly. Back to the actual game. This is the highest level in A tier. This is the 3rd anniversary, the only anniversary level, so, whatever. This level is very nostalgic feeling, especially for this part here, which was like part of the original, like old dancing line, older than this game. I forget the name of this level, it was just kind of, I think it was Prelude, but, still very reminiscent, and you end in the classic triangle, like, themed ending. You can't actually die here, like, I'm tapping right now, and I'm not doing anything. Then it gets to the piano part, which is really cool. It's kind of like the Eternal Journey, that I always wanted in Rolling Sky. It actually does cameos really well here. So, I'm very happy with how this level turned out. The only reason it's not in S tier is because there's weird hitbox issues on the piano. Like that, like what the hell was that? That only happens sometimes, though, and it really depends on what version you're playing on, which still I feel like shouldn't be a case for a level anytime. So for that, this level is getting 12th place, or sorry, 13th place, and we're just going to kick off the S tier. Okay, sorry, I keep getting the numbers wrong. This is 11th place. This is the Indian Journey. Originally supposed to be Selena Gomez's song. Okay. They just changed the song last minute. Like, the entire route was exactly the same. Luckily, I think if it was a Selena Gomez song, I think I would have liked this level a lot less, because the theme doesn't really make sense. I feel like this was supposed to be an Indian themed level from the start. So what were they doing collabing with Selena Gomez on this level? And even with the soundtrack, the taps didn't really even line up, so I felt like that was a weird project to even start before it got canceled. This lighthouse part is cool. You really do have to listen to the soundtrack, though, if you want to get this gem in the lighthouse. Yeah, and the reason this is the lowest in S tier is just because there's one weird interaction with the music not lining up with the taps in the cave area. Well, now it's going to be messed up because I had a lag spike, but, yeah, it's a little behind now just because I had a lag spike, but if that wasn't the case, it would, like, right here, I just kind of tap hoping to get through, which I feel like you shouldn't have to do, but, oh well, yeah, that's why I like this level. Not too much to be said here, and it barely doesn't make the top 10. I'm going to be a bit quicker with these because my phone's about to die, but except for number 1. The romance, I like it because of the saxophone. I'm not kidding. Okay, I died anyway. It also tells a story with 2 people being in love. They're constantly like going on different paths, and then they finally meet up in the end. They, I assume, get pregnant because they're kind of like combined. It's a weird story, but it's kind of fun to follow. The soundtrack is awesome, and yeah, it's just a very fun level to follow, honestly. Then it's very worthy of top 10. Alright, at number 9 we have the Samurai. I don't really know what to say about this one. I think it's just the concept here. The concept of this level actually turns out really well with a great, I don't think a story is really being told here, but it does very much work with the ninja theme, and it works out very well, putting it in the top 9. Another Sha Vibe video here. This is Faded Easy Mode. You may be asking, casual, why is such an easy level in the top 8? Well, you see, it uses the Faded soundtrack, so benefit already. Love that soundtrack. And also because of this. This is just cool. I wish I got to play this. This is the only level in the entire game that I've never actually gotten to play. I definitely beat it on my first try, but it looks so cool. I wish this level stayed. It was easily the shortest lived level ever in the game. Like, it lasted maybe 3 months before getting removed. Which is sad to see, because this was a really fun level. So, that's why it's my 6th place, or 8th place. So, the only, essentially, fan-made level on this list is the space. And this level kind of tells a story with it not telling a story. This feels like the coming soon thing got a level. And it's trippy. Like, it kind of makes you think. There's like nothing going on, but that in itself tells a story. So the fact, I feel like everyone just needs to play this level for themselves to even understand what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna stop it right there. It's oh my god, I'm sorry. There's a spider on my leg. I think that it just in it of itself, we all just need to play this level because it just tells an amazing story. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's hard for me to explain. In 6th place, we have technically, I guess, like it's tied for the newest level. I saw AL164 say this level's boring. You're boring. I love this level. And yeah, that's, I don't know. It's like supposed to be like an art style thing. I don't care if there's not really many moving objects. It's cool. It's like Chinese cool. I don't know. There's fun things you could do in this level. It's not just boring. Like, I could go into the water early right here. I just skipped that crown. I mean, that would hurt you, but like, whatever. The only reason it's not in top 5 is just because the other ones are either one is funnier, the rest are just better. The funnier one will actually be up next at number 5. So let's take a look at that really quick. This is another Shaw Vibe video, and at number 5 we have the Despacito. Need I say more? This is funny. When I first saw this, I literally thought this was satire. I did not think this was actually real. And they actually made the level really well, too. I mean, it doesn't really feel like a Spanish... Well, this part feels like a Spanish city, but... it's pretty challenging. It's very fun. It's honestly such a shame it got removed, but I could totally understand why it did, so I'm not very bitter about that. Let's take a look at number 4, though. Shaw Vibe, once again. But... it's the second hardest level in the game. I never knew how to get that gem, I'm not gonna lie. It's so weird. That's honestly the only thing that I don't like about this level, which is why it's number 4. But, the soundtrack is so good. And I'm just gonna skip to the part that's actually interesting. Because this is like, okay. Yeah, right here. Yeah, let's just look at this. Look at the color changing, and it does warn you about epilepsy, but it's so cool. I love this level. Like, I probably should have given epilepsy warning. Sorry, epilepsy warning. It's a little too late. But this level is honestly just so nostalgic for me because I remember this came out, and I also remember when it got removed, and I was so sad. One of my favorite levels of all time, and it's a huge shame that I can't play it anymore. At number 3, we have a level that tells one of the most interesting stories in the entire game. Also, the soundtrack. Okay, this is just sad. Look at the polar bear getting separated from its mom. That's so sad. It's so heartfelt, and the music makes you feel it too. And eventually, like, it'll make you sound like you're going on this huge voyage, like you're like risking your whole life or something. I don't know. It's so cool. Like, you're going along with a ship. You're kind of like going along with the ship. You're basically on it. You're going along with multiple ships, and then you get to this rocky part. You're not in the Iceland anymore, or the Arctic, whatever. And then, like, dun, 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 like, it makes you feel so epic. The flash of lightning, thunder, and then you're all in the desert randomly? What? This doesn't make sense. I am going to go through fully this level, because this level, like, it's so good. Absolute cinema. You're just, like, going through the desert. Okay, that's probably the hardest part of the level, because there's a weird tap right there. The music's so dramatic. You're on a mountain. You're climbing it. You can do it. And it's falling apart in front of you. And then these things come up. I don't know what you call these. The music gets really dramatic here. And then you go on a bridge. Being held up by a blimp. Like, if this isn't absolute cinema, what is? I think I said that earlier, but like, come on. This is where I really mean it. Like, the trumpet here is so good. Like, honestly. And this ending feels so much like you've been through so much. You're in the sky. You came from the Arctic. And honestly, this part kind of sounds like the American national anthem to me. I don't know why. It just kind of does. I love this level. Like, that's why it's my third favorite level in the entire game. There's only 2 that are better. Let's move on to number 2. I'm not going to spend much time on this because my phone is literally about to die. But, and I want to save room for number 1. Okay, whatever. This level is about video games. I am a video game YouTuber. Do I have to say more? I love Nintendo games. Oh, sorry. I love Nintendo games. I absolutely love, like, all pixelated games. Love this concept. Was executed perfectly, especially with all the console showcases at the end. Awesome idea. Executed perfectly. My second favorite level in the game. I don't need to say much about this level because I could see by a lot of people to understand my opinion here. So let's move on to my favorite level in Rolling Sky. Coincidentally, also, Dancing Line. Wow. Coincidentally, also a level in Rolling Sky. That's why I said that. This is Tuan's video, by the way, and this is The Wizard of Oz. You start in a tornado, for God's sake. Like, it starts out just like the movie. And then, oh my God, you're in this faraway land. You're, like, getting out of the tornado. Where are you? You're in this magical village, of course. You're not in Kansas anymore. Just saying. This level's so fun, with probably the best soundtrack in the game as well. And it's just so fun. Amazing gems. The concepts were so well done. The spider getting killed by the lion. It's insane. And unlike in Rolling Sky, where I feel like Chest Fortress will be my favorite level, like, forever, I think this one's more of a toss-up, where if a new level comes out, it could beat this. But, like, there's, like, a 7th anniversary kind of reference in this level, too. I'll skip to the end, or where I think the soundtrack is really good. Yeah, like, right here, I think the soundtrack gets, like, its best moment, like, right here. Like, it's so dramatic. There's a giant chase happening between the lion and the spider. It's insane. Absolute cinema. If I hadn't said that enough in this video already. But yeah, of course the spider loses. It has to. Thank God. Because the spider was just on me before the lion killed it. But yeah, this level does everything right. And for that reason, it is my favorite level in Dancing Line. But that is going to do it for this 150 subscriber special. Thank you guys so much again. And this is a long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I'd like to make more of these. Be on the lookout for more deeper dives and my new series in the future. And this is Casual, signing off. See y'all later.